Riley with leapaheadfitness.com, and this is week 3 of the 4-week abs challenge. This week we're going to be diving into your obliques, and for today's tip, I'm going to give you a few pointers on how to get the most out of this week's workout. Let's get started. So, as I mentioned, this week's workout is about the obliques, and before we talk about the technique for doing a really great oblique exercise, I want to make sure you understand what the obliques are. So we've been talking a lot about the transverse abdominals, which function from the back of your spine all the way towards the front of your spine like a corset. So they draw your entire waist in. That's the innermost unit of your abs. And just above that you have your internal obliques and your external obliques. And the way they're named exactly indicates how they're positioned in your body. So your inner obliques are deeper than your external obliques. So what we're trying to engage in our oblique exercises is both these sets of muscles. And the internal obliques kind of function like a crisscross in the front of your body. And your external obliques kind of function like if I were going to take my ribs and put them into my pockets. So they kind of function as an external stabilizing unit. So in every exercise that we do, we're going to want to engage that inner unit and that outer unit. And you'll notice that the crisscross means that ribs and hip points will need to draw together to fully engage. And that involves both rotation and contraction. So I'm going to show you a little tip on how to get the most out of the series that I put together for you this week. So go ahead and lie down on your back. And we're going to talk a little bit about how to position your hands behind your head. So this is something people do really wrong, and a lot of times the way you do this can affect whether or not you're experiencing neck pain or not. So I want you to take your index fingers and place them right underneath your skull. And you'll notice that there's a little divot there, a little bit of soft tissue. So that's where your fingers go. And then from there, you're going to spread the rest of your fingers wide so that you're supporting or holding on to the rest of your head. Now, my fingertips aren't actually touching each other on the back of the head. I'm also not clasping the hands together or overlapping the hands. So it's a nice wide position. The elbows are slightly forward. The shoulders are pressing down away from your ears. And from that position, you should feel your armpits are plugged into the joint. So there's a little bit of resistance that's going to be involved with holding the arms in this position, but it's also really going to support your head. Your neck is actually not very heavy, so if you hold your hands on your actual neck, you're not supporting it very much. And the same thing applies if you clasp your hands behind your head, you're going to be much more likely to pull. And when we're doing any kind of curling exercise, we want our abs to do the work, not our arms. So you're going to place your hands in that position. And now let's go ahead and build on what we've been working on during this 4-week abs challenge. So you draw your waist in, transverse abdominals engaged. And then from there, we're going to create the rotation by tipping the right ribs down towards your left hip. So there's a crossways action that's happening, and there's a drawing in the action that's happening, and there's a curling action that's happening. And notice that I've kept my elbows nice and wide and both shoulder blades are off the floor. So let's try that to the other side. So again, you're going to draw your waist in. Begin to move your left shoulder towards your right knee. Tip your left ribs down and towards your right hip bone. Excellent. So hold that position. And you should feel maybe a little shake happening. Good. Try that one more time each side. The other important thing when you're doing oblique work is to not involve your hips. So we're isolating the upper part of your body. So again, rotate to your left knee. And just make sure that when you did that, your right hip didn't leave the floor. Good. Going back down. And we're going to rotate the other direction. And back down. Good. So work on that a little bit on your own so that when you dive into this week's series, all of the exercises are going to build on that and complicate from that place. So you'll have a really great foundation for it. If you have any questions about what I talked about, feel free to make a comment below and I'll be happy to get back to you. Oh, and don't forget to tune in tomorrow when I'll be posting the workout of the week. Have a great day.